The Sicarii. Imagine you having a stroll in a busy marketplace in ancient Judea, and all of a sudden you are stabbed by this. Chances are you are been targeted by the Sicarii, a Jewish nationalist group that emerged in the 1st century AD in Judea. These guys were not your average freedom fighters. Armed with short-curved daggers called CK, they specialized in assassinations against Romans and Jewish collaborators. Their goal? To incite a revolt against Roman rule. Unfortunately, their dreams of rebellion ended in defeat after a prolonged struggle. The Hashashin. The Hashashin were a Shia Muslim sect active in Persia and Syria from the 11th to 13th centuries. They were known for carrying out political assassinations of Sunni Muslim, Christian, and Nizari Ismaili leaders. The Hashashin were led by Hassan Saba and operated from mountain fortresses. They were known to use hashish to induce a trance-like state before sending assassins, known as fedayin, on suicide missions. You could say that without the Hashashin, we might not have the term assassin today. One can also argue that they were the inspiration of a whole genre of video games. Their reign ended when the Mongols came knocking, but their legacy lives on. The Black Hand. The Black Hand was a secret society formed in Serbia in the late 19th century. It was dedicated to the unification of Serbs and other South Slavic peoples under Serbian rule. In 1914, members of the Black Hand orchestrated the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria in Sarajevo, sparking the outbreak of World War I. The assassin, Gavrilo Princip, was a member of the Young Bosnia movement that had ties to the Black Hand. The assassination was intended to break off Austria-Hungary's South Slav provinces to be combined into Yugoslavia. The Black Hand was eventually suppressed by the Serbian government in 1917. The Italian-American Mafia, also known as La Cosa Nostra, is a powerful criminal society that emerged in the United States in the early 20th century. It is composed of various crime families, mainly the Bonanno, Colombo, Gambino, Genovese, and the Lucchese family that originated from Sicily and southern Italy. Other notable families include the Chicago outfit and the Philadelphia family, just to name a few. From the top of the mafia hierarchy, we have the boss or Don, the consigliere, who is the boss' right-hand man, the underboss that reports directly to the boss, capos, which is a captain of a division, soldiers, the grunts of the organization, and then the associates. They are involved in a wide range of illegal activities, including extortion, gambling, drug trafficking, and murder. Notable figures include Al Capone, Lucky Luciano, and John Gotti. It's a never-ending crime drama, full of betrayals and power struggles. Just remember, never rat on your friends and leave a like and subscribe to the channel.
Okay, capiche.
The Russian Mafia, also called the Bratva, is a vast criminal organization that emerged from the Soviet Union in the late 20th century. It has its roots in the thieves-in-law criminal groups that existed in the Soviet era. The Bratva expanded its influence during the turbulent transition to a market economy in the 1990s. It is involved in drug trafficking, extortion, money laundering, and other illicit activities. The Russian Mafia has also infiltrated legitimate businesses and established connections with political figures. While facing increased law enforcement pressure, the Bratva remains a formidable force in global organized crime. The Japanese Yakuza. The Yakuza are highly structured criminal organizations in Japan that date back to the 17th century. In the 20th century, they became more organized and involved in a wide range of illegal activities, including drug trafficking, human trafficking, prostitution, and extortion. Their position, the Yakuza, are known for their elaborate tattoos, missing fingers, a sign of penance, and strict codes of honor. The most notable of the Japanese Yakuza is the Yamaguchi-gumi, which is the largest and controls a significant portion of Yakuza activities throughout Japan and abroad. Other Yakuza groups are the Sumiyoshi Kai, Inagawa Kai, and the Izuku Tetsu Kai, just to name a few. While their power has declined in recent decades due to anti-gang laws and police crackdowns, the Yakuza continue to maintain a presence in Japanese society. The Chinese Triad. The Triads are transnational criminal organizations that originated in China. They are involved in drug trafficking, human smuggling, extortion, and other illicit activities. The Triads trace their roots to secret societies formed in China centuries ago to oppose warlords. Some well-known Triad groups include the 14K Triad, Sun Yian Triad, and others. They have a presence in Chinese communities worldwide, including major cities in Europe and North America. The Triads control a significant portion of the global heroin trade, with the Golden Triangle region of Southeast Asia being a major source of opium. Mexican drug cartels. These are powerful criminal organizations that emerged in the late 20th century. They are involved in the production, distribution, and sale of illegal drugs, primarily cocaine, heroin, methamphetamine, and marijuana. The cartels also engage in extortion, kidnapping, and murder. Notable cartels include the Sinaloa Cartel, Gulf Cartel, and Los Zetas. The cartels have corrupted Mexican law enforcement and political institutions and have carried out brutal violence against rival groups and the government. The US and Mexican governments have waged a long-running war against the cartels, with limited success. Street gangs. Street gangs are loosely organized criminal groups that operate in urban areas. Some of the most prominent examples include the Bloods and Crips in the United States, MS-13 in the US and Central America, and the 18th Street Gang in the US and Mexico. These gangs are involved in drug dealing, extortion, robbery, and violent turf wars. They often recruit young people and use violence to maintain control over their territories. For dishonorable mentions, we have the Thuggees. The Thuggee cult of India were a notorious group of professional robbers and assassins from the 13th to 19th centuries, known for their ritualistic murders in the name of the Hindu goddess Kali. They operated in organized gangs, gaining the trust of travelers before attacking them at night, typically using strangulation as their method of killing. The term thug is derived from the Sanskrit word sthaga, meaning deceiver or to hide, reflecting the secretive nature of this group. They comprised of both Hindu and Muslim members, believed they were maintaining a balance of good and evil through their actions. They followed a strict code, which included rituals and a secret language called Ramasi. Due to the threat of public safety and colonial authority, prompted the British to take decisive action. The British colonial government, led by Officer William Henry Sleeman in the 1830s, launched a campaign to expose and eliminate the Thuggees, resulting in the arrest of hundreds. The Criminal Tribes Act was enacted to criminalize communities associated with them, although it was later repealed. The Nigerian organized crime, often labeled as the Nigerian Mafia, can be misleading, as these groups operate as loose networks rather than hierarchical structures. Characterized by their informality, Nigerian crime organizations are involved in human trafficking, drug trafficking, and the dominant cybercrime, making them hard to infiltrate. They have established operations in countries like Italy, France, Germany, and Canada, particularly in sex trafficking and money laundering, often collaborating with local gangs. The term has evolved since the 2015 migration crisis to include various criminal activities linked to Nigerian migrants, complicating its definition.